Thanks for stopping by for another Diary of a Backmarker SimGrid series. Once again, we find ourselves at Imola. For the video, I'm trying something different with some feedback that people were often watching the picture-in-picture rather than the driver's perspective. I'll be cutting between the two, and let me know what you think in the comments. I haven't been on Imola since my first episode, and it is a track I have been looking for redemption on. I've been gifted a sleek setup from our resident alien Forsberg, who has also joined me in the race in the number 24 Bentley, along with Saavedra in the number 8 Bentley. The setup is a little looser than I am used to, but that's because Forsberg likes to use the power to help rotate the Bentley through the turns. I'm not able to finesse the car like he can, so the car feels a little bit nervous to me on exit. This is the case of how just because the setup works for one person, it doesn't always gel with the other. But for me, it's still better than the stock aggressive setup. And I'm still new enough that I don't have a defined setup that I gel with yet. I'm still trying to feel the tiny nuance of the cars that the faster drivers can. I plan on doing a mini-series featuring some of the information that was passed down to me by much faster drivers that often gets left out sometimes. The race gets underway and I move to the left knowing I have a little bit more pace in the car ahead and I don't want to run into the car. Everyone funnels through the first turn and we all manage to get out without much trouble. We then dive into Tamburello and a McLaren goes a little bit wide and gets off track, giving me a free position. I've managed to hold on to my position and already the pace has been much less drama free than the last time I had visited the SimGrid at Imola. I know I have enough distance from the McLaren behind me so I don't need to take a defensive line and I can just focus on the road ahead. But I end up going wide and I have to get off the gas, leaving the door open for the other driver as we get side by sides going into Acqua Minerale and I lose out on a position. As we head out of Alta, the number 18 Nissan GTR goes wide. I probably have been watching too much F1 as I give him a real hard squeeze off the track with no room on the side, and thus forcing the driver to slow down to not allow the outside curbs to upset his car too much. Not the nicest thing in the world, but lately I've been employing a much more aggressive defensive approach on the tracks I feel quicker at. The number 18 Nissan GTR and myself start battling it out and I do my best to defend against the driver, but I know it's only a matter of time as they've been getting a better exit out of the turn. The driver flares out, but I still know I have the advantage and the driver knows it too. If they were impatient, they could have easily dove for the line and ruined both our races. A great battle in racing requires two people to give the right amount of space, patience, and respect. My number finally comes up as I get a poor exit out of Rivazza, and now I'm helpless to defend as we head into the main straight. And despite me slipping into the driver's draft, I'm still too far out from the car ahead to be able to contend for position. This is a perfect situation where a car being lapped is racing the race and not making any unpredictable moves. I have a slightly faster pace, so I know I'll be able to get around the driver. If they let off the gas on the straight a little bit, that's great. But as usual, it's always up to the faster car to get around the slower car in this case. Exiting Rivazza has always been my biggest weakness on this track as the 59 Aston Martin begins to pass me. We do get a little bit of side-by-side action, and I end up taking the worst line as we both eat too much of the curbs, unsettling the car. '66 Ferrari and I banged some doors heading into Tosa. It was a little bit more aggressive of a defense I had misjudged how much speed the other driver was carrying and how much I was braking. Don't like to be that aggressive on shutting the door on the other drivers, but we both managed to get away relatively unharmed. As we get later into the race, I managed to regain my pace and I start hunting down the 59 Aston of DuPont, with the Ferrari behind me no longer being a threat. I end up taking the chicane too aggressively, and with how rough the curbs are and getting on the gas too soon, I end up spitting the Bentley out. I only lose one spot, and it could have been much worse. Another great race, and I had some great battles and chases. I made an impatient mistake that cost me a position, but this is how we all learn, and I'm looking to continue to improve my pace. Once again, I appreciate anyone that sticks around this far into the video. If you have any feedback, please leave a comment, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Have fun out there and hope to see you on the SimGrid lobby sometime.